Transformers Cybertron, the piece of media that exposed me and many others to this whole franchise in the first place. Like your average guy born in the year 2000, the theme song to the show plays constantly in my brain 24/7, and I always make sure to yell at Hasbro for new toys of its characters on a daily basis, and for really good reasons. The Transformers in that series had so many unique designs that can make most other universes, and even the other two parts of the Unicron trilogy, feel kind of bland. Unfortunately, we usually only get repaints and retools of G1 characters to represent most of these guys in toy form, so for the moment, we're still able to go back and appreciate what toys we got all those years ago. And that's what we'll be doing today with today's figure on the review table. Welcome to IdArmed Reviews. Today we'll be looking at the Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Brimstone. Brimstone was released in 2005, and this design was used in the Transformers Cybertron cartoon to represent the character of the same name. As a resident of Animatron, the jungle planet, Brimstone aptly has an animal form for his alternate mode. In his case, he takes the appearance of a techno-organic pteranodon, and man, this really screams wacky to me. The combination of his overtly exaggerated head, long feet, and garish highlighter yellow plastic should really make this beast inherently ugly. But for reasons I still cannot comprehend, I enjoy how out there this is for a beast mode. Even compared to his fellow jungle planet natives, something about this feels so alien for a Transformer. This doesn't mean that he doesn't share traits with the other jungle planet characters though. As mentioned previously, Brimstone has a very heavy mix of organic and technological features. A prominent example of this are the wings, which have a very sharp and rounded organic shape while containing a large amount of greebling resembling gears and vents on the inside and outside. Another example is that head. Large size aside, the highlighter yellow beak and neck sandwich a mechanical middle section. This results in a sculpt resembling a sinister armored pteranodon given technological upgrades. And, to aptly put it, this mode is overall pretty wicked. It should be obvious that almost every robot mode part makes up something in the beast mode, and as a result, Brimstone is decently posable in this mode, with full articulation in the head, legs, and wings. For Brimstone's main gimmick in both modes, we need his Cyber Planet Key, which was the central gimmick of the majority of the Cybertron line. As expected, Brimstone includes a jungle Cyber Planet Key, and inserting it into a slot on the back results in a pair of spring-loaded blades popping out of the wings. Not only does this feature give Brimstone some unconventional weapons for a Transformer, but some additional paint helps to make this beast mode just pop a little bit more. Considering most of the robot mode on Brimstone is pretty apparent in his beast mode, it should be no sign that his transformation is really simple even for a Deluxe. So starting, just want to unplug the leg, fold this entire section down, clear the wings out, rotate everything around like that, put the feet out on his right leg, fold this out and then close the mouth, solidify, rotate, get the arms positioned however you want, get the wings positioned however you want, and lastly you want to just pull up the head. After a really fast transformation, we have quite the interesting robot mode. Just as in his beast mode, Brimstone's robot mode is wacky to the max. This is due to, as previously mentioned, most of the parts and details we see in the beast mode directly carrying over to the robot mode. And just as all the weird elements of the beast mode work to make something neat, the same happens here. The slender limbs and waist, the nondescript face-plated head sculpt, and the large and slender wings and torso work together to give off the vibe that Brimstone is either a silent stalker who preys on his enemies, or can just also exude big goon energy. And as seen previously, the amount of techno-organic detail continues to make itself known from bottom to top. One thing to note about Brimstone is that some elements of his bot mode are very unconventional, both for his time and with all the figures we've gotten since Cybertron ended. For one, the legs are obviously asymmetrical, with the Pteranodon head making up the right leg, while the undercarriage and tail form the left leg. This is something we didn't see much again in mainline toys up until stuff like War for Cybertron's modulators and fossilizers having heavily asymmetrical limbs. Something still pretty unique to Brimstone amongst my collection at least, is that his hands are not 5mm compatible. Rather, the feet of the beast mode form into sets of free-fingered claws that fit his wild nature very well. While I like 5mm compatibility in my figures, I do hope we get more characters with unconventional hands in the future. As for Brimstone's robot mode, he doesn't have much. No accessories are included for Brimstone to wield, rather his Cyber Planet Key gimmick returns unimpeded. However, I feel like this is not applicable to the robot mode as it was in beast mode, just due to not being able to move in any direction, meaning Brimstone's opponent needs to stand directly in front of him to take the blunt of the blades. At the end of the day, you can't deny they really do look awesome though. Again, just like transformation from beast to robot mode, a lot of the articulation carries on from the beast mode to the robot mode, but with a lot of the lower assembly, that's all, of course, brand new. Starting at the top, we have a full head swivel. No ball joint, just 360. The wings can go up and down, and just based on how it is, the ball joints in the arms can go from something like a bicep swivel, swing them up, to a full 360. And of course, like even fold it up, you get a little bit of back wiggle. Same thing here, you got ball joint elbow. Then you have opening claws, as well as the thumb and the fingers, all again carrying over from bird mode. We have a sword of waist, so it locks at 4 points. And I guess this counts as articulation, but it's more information. You get a, I guess, torso hinge, kind of. Ball jointed legs, unimpeded thigh swivel, knees, and ankle tilts. So, due to just, again, carrying over a lot of the articulation, Brimstone ultimately is very poseable for his time. While the actual robot mode for Brimstone stands at about 5.5 inches, due to the hinges of his wings, depending on how you angle them, Brimstone can gain several inches in either height, width, or both. For size comparisons, here's Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime, Generation Select's Hotshot, Kingdom Leader Class Megatron, and a few of Brimstone's fellow Decepticons from Transformers Cybertron. Brimstone was always a toy I was familiar with since my mom bought me an undersized KO of the figure as a 5 or 6 year old. I probably have some parts of it lying around in some box somewhere if I'm going to be honest. It wasn't until years later that I found out that it was a KO of a Cybertron toy, and then it took me an extra decade to finally get the original. Tangent aside, Brimstone's aesthetics rock in both of his modes, but to be completely honest, he really isn't anything super special. If anything, Brimstone makes for a nice background character for your Decepticon army who are just chilling in the back or popped up on a flight stand, if you can balance it correctly. I do recommend getting Brimstone if you're fond of Cybertron or just getting into the Unicron trilogy, but don't spend too much on him. But regardless, Cybertron Brimstone is a fun flashback to simpler times, of Aaron Archer, gimmicks, and saving worlds in danger. Thanks for watching everyone, let me know what you think of Brimstone and the Cybertron toy line as a whole, and I hope you guys can check out some of my previous videos and maybe even subscribe to the channel. Next time we'll be taking a look at our first figure that isn't a robot. See you next time when we take a look at gaming's most famous spherical hero, and take care.